I am Dr. Vinita Bhadoria, Associate Professor of English, Government College, Behrod. Today I am going to give a brief introduction of John Keats, an English poet, described in BA Part 2, English Literature, Paper 1, Poetry and Drama. John Keats was born on 31st October 1795 at Finsbury, London in United Kingdom. John Keats was an English Romantic poet. He was one of the main figures of the second generation of Romantic poets, along with Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley. Despite his works having been in publication for only 4 years before his death from tuberculosis at the age of 25. Although he is now seen as part of the British Romantic literary tradition, in his own lifetime, Keats would not have been associated with other major Romantic poets, and he himself was often uneasy among them. Although his poems were not generally well received by critics during his lifetime, his reputation grew after his death, and by the end of the 19th century, he had become one of the most beloved of all English poets. He had a significant influence on diverse range of poets and writers. Poetry of Keats is characterized by a style heavily loaded with sensuality, most notably in the series of odes. This is typical of the Romantic poets, as they aim to accentuate extreme emotion through an emphasis on natural imagery. Nowadays, his poems in letters are some of the most popular and most analyzed in English literature. He has devoted his short life to the perfection of a poetry marked by vivid imagery, great sensuous appeal, and an attempt to express a philosophy through classic legend. During his last 2 years at school, Keats had developed a great enthusiasm and love for literature, which remains unabated during his 4 years of apprenticeship. The poetry of Keats is characterized by a style heavily loaded with sensuality. This is typical of Romantic poets, as they aim to accentuate extreme emotion through an emphasis on natural imagery. He had a significant influence on a diverse range of poets and writers. Unlike his contemporaries, he did not receive university education but taught himself Latin and France. Keats had perhaps the most remarkable career of any English poet. Although Keats had a liberal education in the Boys' Academy at Enfield and trained at Guy's Hospital to become a surgeon, he had no formal literary education. Yet Keats today is seen as one of the keenest readers, interpreters, questioners of the modern poetic project, which he saw as beginning with William Wordsworth. To create poetry in a world devoid of mythic grandeur, poetry that sought its wonder in the desires and sufferings of the human heart. Beyond his precise sense of the difficulties presented him in his own literary historical moment, he developed with unparalleled rapidity in a relative handful of extraordinary poems a rich, powerful, and exactly controlled poetic style, a style that ranks Keats with the William Shakespeare of the sonnets as one of the greatest lyric poets in English. Keats did not know Greek but had an intuitive understanding and grasp over Greek mythology. His verse is known for its vivid imagery and great sensuous appeal. He was greatly admired in the Victorian age. His influence can be seen in the poetry of Alfred Lord Tennyson and the Pre Raphaelites, among others. At the age of John Keats died in Rome. At the age of 25, John Keats died in Rome on 23rd February 1821 by tuberculosis. John Keats was apprenticed to a surgeon in 1811. He broke off the apprenticeship in 1814 and went to London, where he worked as a dresser or junior house surgeon at Guy's and St. Thomas Hospital. His literary interest had crystallized by this time, and after 1817 he devoted himself entirely to poetry. John Keats wrote sonnets, odes, and epics. All his greatest poetry was written in single year, 1819. He published only 54 poems in three slim volumes and a few magazines, but over his short development, he took on the challenges of a wide range of poetic forms, from the sonnet to the Spenserian romance to the Miltonic epic, defining anew their possibilities with his own distinctive fusion of earnest energy, control of conflicting perspectives and forces, poetic self consciousness, and occasionally dry ironic wit. His first mature poem is the sonnet on first looking into Chapman's Homer, published in 1816, which was inspired by his excited reading of George Chapman's classic 17th century translation of the Iliad and the Odyssey. Year 1819 is the most remarkable year in the literary career of Keats. Keats had written Isabella, an adaptation of the story of the Port of Basil in Giovanni Boccaccio de Marion in 1917-18. Soon after the completion of Endymion, and again he was dissatisfied with his work. It was during the year 1819 that all his greatest poetry was written. Lamia, the Eve of St. Agnes, the great odes, six odes, for which he was famous: Ode on Indolence, Ode on Grecian Urn, Ode to Psyche, Ode to Nightingale, Ode on Melancholy, and Ode to Autumn, and the two versions of Hyperion. The poetry was composed under the strain of illness and his growing love for Browne, and it is an astonishing body of work marked by careful and considered development, technical, emotional, and intellectual. Isabella, which Keats himself weaknesses and of Endymion, but the Eve of St. Agnes may be considered the perfect culmination of Keats' earlier poetic style. Written in the first flush of his meeting with Browne, it conveys an atmosphere of passion and excitement in its description of the elopement of a pair of youthful lovers. Written in Spenserian stanzas, the poem presents its theme with unrivaled delicacy but displays no marked intellectual advance over Keats' earlier efforts. In the Ode to Nightingale, a visionary happiness in communing with the nightingale and its song is contrasted with the dead weight of human grief and sickness, and the transience of youth and beauty strongly brought home to Keats in recent months by his brother's death. It is symbol of art that outlasts the individual mortal's life. Ode on a Grecian Urn, the theme is taken up more distinctly. The figures of the lovers depicted on the Greek urn become for him the symbol of an enduring but unconsummated passion that subtly belies the poem's celebrated conclusion. Beauty is truth, and truth beauty. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know. Ode on Melancholy recognizes the sadness is the inevitable commitment of human passion and happiness, and that the transience of joy and desire is an inevitable aspect of natural process. But the rich, slow movement of this and the other odes suggest an enjoyment of such intensity and depth that it makes the moment eternal. Wood to Autumn, which is prescribed in your course also, is essentially the record of such an experience. Autumn is seen not as a time of decay, but as a season of complete ripeness and fulfillment. A pause in time when everything has reached fruition and the question of transience is hardly raised. These poems, with their rich and exquisitely sensuous detail and their meditative depth, are among the greatest achievements of romantic poetry. With them should be mentioned the ballad La Belle Dame Sans Merci of about the same time, which reveals the obtuse and destructive side of idyllic love scene in the Eve of St. Agnes. So, this is all about John Keats in very brief, because if we discuss Keats, we can take hours on discussing Keats, though he is died in at a very small age of 25 years. Thank you very much. This is all in this video. In the next video, I will explain you the poem To Autumn. Thank you.